Simple solutions to difficult problems. And I don't mean simple like they're easy. I mean simple like very reasonable, straightforward, but not necessarily common sense solutions or hacks. I guess it's what the kids call it these days. Here are 4 hacks to help solve 4 nasty problems. Cravings. Cravings occur when the body signals a desire for certain foods, usually fatty and full of sugar, due to various factors like hormonal imbalances, emotional triggers, stress. Stress can exacerbate cravings as body releases cortisol, which can trigger desire for comfort food as a coping mechanism. Anyways, for whatever reason, you overeat to compensate, and the more you eat, the more blood sugar, the more insulin, and the more you want to eat. This cycle of craving, overeating, repeat, poor metabolic health can lead to weight gain. It can worsen your insulin resistance if you have it, or to even more serious health problems like type 2 diabetes. So how do you break the cycle? Well, you have to stop eating. I know it's easier said than done, but fasting is a phenomenal tool. If you manage to keep your blood sugar and insulin really low, you won't feel very hungry. In fact, you won't feel hungry at all. It takes a little time to adapt, but once you do, it's fantastic. There are many protocols of intermittent fasting. You can do 16 hours a day. Some people do 1 meal a day. Some will fast for a couple of days every week or month. Or simply, you can only eat foods that won't spike your blood sugar, like healthy fats and proteins, which essentially mimics a fast. The intention here is regulate your blood sugar levels, therefore your insulin levels. And it really works. Anyone that has tried will tell you that it works, and it's kind of easy to adapt. For me personally, I did intermittent fasting for a few years until I became pregnant and started breastfeeding. I'm still breastfeeding my toddler, so I am not fasting. I need all the vitamins I can get from all the meals I can eat. But if you're not breastfeeding, maybe you should give it a go. Now, I do try to control the amount of carbs I eat every day and junk food. But what it looks like for me is I always start my day with 20 to 30 grams of protein and a little bit of healthy fat too. Depending on your weight, maybe 30 grams of protein is still not enough. You'll still feel hungry. For me, 25 grams, 30 will keep me full for hours. Lately, my go-to breakfast is scrambled eggs with butter and feta cheese. It's so good. And I only drink black coffee with no sugar. Black coffee doesn't mess with your fast, doesn't spike your blood sugar, so that's great. It's my personal preference anyways, so I'll just drink that. Later in the day, as I said, I'm breastfeeding, so I'm more lenient. I will eat carbs, particularly breads, pasta, rice, fruits, lots of fruits. But the way I know I'll have a great day with no cravings, mentally well, is when I start my day with a lot of protein and healthy fats. Now, before we go to number 2, please make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and comment down below some of your life hacks, financial problems. I always say money solves problems. Perhaps not all problems. I know money is not everything in life, but nonetheless, it still helps a whole lot. Not having enough money or spending more than you make, it's a huge problem, huge mistake. Forget the basics, food and shelter. If you're watching this video, I suppose you have both, I hope. But I'm talking about retirement, for example. You may not be physically able to work later when you're older, or you may go through health issues right now if you're young, because nobody can predict this sort of thing, right? And so you may need a little cushion to provide for yourself while you heal. Your car may break, your cat may need surgery. Anyways, everybody needs a steady income, an emergency fund, and some money invested for the future. And how? You may be thinking, how do you solve your financial problems? Whatever they may be. Debt, not enough income, not knowing how to budget, no clue how to invest, or maybe no motivation to even try. How do you solve that? Well, books. How many personal finance, wealth, investment books have you read in your life? Most people have read none. A couple years ago, I have read none. And it's so straightforward, right? Like, you want to know how to invest? Go read. But yeah, the message is always similar. Save, invest, be frugal. But it does work. It's not like you'll instantly become a millionaire just because you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But reading generates great insight and knowledge that you can start putting into practice. That's how I was able to gradually increase my income, to save enough for a 6-month emergency fund, to start investing and taking advantage of tax-free investment accounts, and also why I started building skills to generate other streams of income like this YouTube channel. And overall, why I just stopped thinking about money and started taking actions. I once watched a video in a YouTube channel, Ali Abdal's, great channel by the way, and he was talking about giving advice to someone who wanted to have enough passive income to stop working full-time. And he asked this guy just a simple question. Well, you want this so much. How many books have you read about it? And not surprisingly, the guy said, well, none. And that got me, because at that point, I too hadn't read a lot of books about wealth, building wealth, personal finance, right? And so if I'm not even willing to read a couple hundred pages, how likely am I to start doing the hard work? After that, I made it a personal goal of mine to read as many wealth, building, personal finance, investment books that I could get my hands on. Which leads me to my third point, savings. How the hell do you save money? I think we've established that everyone needs some money saved, either for emergency or to start investing. Anyhow, the formula is super simple. You may have heard about it, and it's pay yourself first. Tô vendo como pronuncia o nome desse cara.
Clayson. Hi everyone. The man slowly teaches others how to create. Check out their channel if you want amazing input on which books to read and when. Today's big idea comes from George S. Clayson and his classic book, The Richest Man in Babylon.
I didn't come up with it. Apparently, author George S. Clayson was the one who first came up with this simple formula. When I first heard about it, I was like, well, what difference does it make if I pay my bills first or put the money in my savings accounts first? Like, the bills have to be paid anyway, right? But I can assure you, it does make a lot of difference. In fact, it was only after my husband and I made this shift that we finally were able to build a 6-month emergency fund. Simply by transferring a set amount of money to your high interest savings account as soon as the paycheck hits your checking account. Better yet, if you have an automated system that will prevent you from just not doing it or forgetting. It works because you have to make do with the remaining money. You have no choice. You either cut on expenses, like don't buy that shiny new thing on Amazon because you don't even need it anyway. Or, maybe look for deals to cut down your grocery bill, cook at home instead of eating out, or you can try a side hustle to increase your income a little bit, like go to Uber Eats, skip the dishes, DoorDash, whatever you need to do to make sure that the first chunk of money that leaves your account is going to your future self. There is a psychological aspect to it also. Yes, it's important to pay your bills on time, and you will do that, don't get me wrong. But when you prioritize your economic security before anybody else, before your landlord, before your phone provider, your mindset changes for good. I can promise you that. Number 4, scrolling addiction. You may think you're not addicted, but you probably are. If the first thing you do after you wake up is to grab your phone and start scrolling, you're addicted. If you fall asleep by mindlessly scrolling, you're already there. If, sometimes you feel kind of off, kind of depressed, low productivity and satisfaction, with no good explanation for it, maybe it's because you're scrolling way too much. Check your screen time. Chances are you're spending way too many hours in the day in front of a screen without even realizing it, because all apps were designed to make you do just that. It's kind of even not your fault. Have you ever found yourself on a scrolling spree after an hour and a half of Instagram and you're like, wow, I haven't done anything in the past hour and a half, and still you have no motivation to get up and go do something? That happened to me way too many times. It still does. And you know what's worse? Like, when you think about it, you didn't get one single benefit from it. Like, not one good idea, not like a good recipe that you can retain. Maybe you got a couple of good laughs, but you don't even remember what you laughed about because it's so fast. It's like seconds and it's gone. That time is gone. It's wasted time. So what's the solution for this problem? Well, I came up with a good system that is working for me. I will remove the problem apps from my phone, completely remove them for a month, every quarter. So 1 month, 1 month out of 3 months, I will be without Instagram and X. Those are the problems for me. I don't have I'm not on TikTok, thank God. I think that would be terrible. But if you are, maybe that's your problem. Anyways, you have to break the instant gratification dopamine cycle. And a good way to do that is removing the app from your phone. You can do it for a week every month too. Or at the very, very least, remove all notifications. You may ask, why not delete your account forever? Which is also a good idea. If that's you, go for it. I'm always jealous and I highly admire people in my age group or younger that are not on social media. I think that's awesome. For me particularly, that's the only way I have to keep in touch with some of my extended family and friends. I live far, far away from everyone in another country. And I'm not really good at calling people. So I won't delete my accounts for now. But removing the app for a month and every quarter is a big improvement for me. How big of an improvement, you may ask? Well, I've spent the whole month of February out of Instagram and X. And I have read 6 books. To be fair, 2 of them were around 100 pages each only. And the other 4 were like really easy reads, rom-coms. But still, that is still 6 more books that I would probably have read if I were on social media, if I was scrolling all the time. Another good benefit, I've been sleeping like a baby, like literally. I will put my daughter to bed at around 7 p.m. and most nights I will fall asleep with her at around 7:30 to 8 p.m. And it's wonderful. I'm getting 7, 8, sometimes 9 hours of sleep per night consistently. I have also not been uneasy or frustrated by the news. Listen, we have to be well informed, but we don't have to know everything, okay? It's okay to give yourself a pass from time to time. Reading the news is depressing. And with that, I'm gonna say goodbye now. If you're still here, thanks a bunch for watching. Make sure you hit the like button and do all the things. Subscribe, comment down below what you think. I will see you on the next video. Bye.